Shout out to Money Brown, man. Respect Junior. My boy Money Brown, he get a lot of money, that's why I call him Money Brown.
What's good, Money Brown TV? What up, what up?
I want to give a shout out to Money Brown TV. Thank you so much for everything.
Hey, this is Ryan Garcia here. Shout out to Money Brown TV and keep punching, baby.
Yo, what's going on out the fight? Well, it's your boy Money back with another one, man. And this one here is on the 4th Division World Champion and the current 168-pound unified world champ, Mexican superstar boxer, like my brother Blue would say, Canelo Alvarez. And like I say, the rising sensation, the YouTube sensation, out here knocking shit out, making a name for herself, Jake Paul, who just knocked out Ben Askren, in the first round. And, it was cool. It was cool. I'm not going to knock it. But Canelo has came out. We all know Canelo, what he feel about Jake Paul and his brother Logan Paul. He feel like they're making a mockery of the boxing game. The sport that he loved, the sport that he gave his, blood, sweat, and tears to. He's been doing this since he was 15 years of age. Well, been professional since 15 years of age. But he been doing this his whole life. You know what I mean? Canelo been doing this his whole life. So, when you see him, when Canelo sees things like the YouTube fighters coming out here, putting on shows, well, exhibitionists they want to call it, but, making it like they are real boxers, I can understand his disdain for the shit. I'm not going to knock Canelo for feeling how he feel, and he has the right to feel how he feel, because like I say, this is the sport he been doing his whole life, and he gave his blood, sweat, and tears to. Now, with Jake Paul, on the other hand, being a YouTube fighter in these celebrity fights, he's 3-0 now, if I'm not mistaken. Knocked out I think he knocked out everybody he fought, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, Jake Paul and Logan Paul, they've been making this thing a hot commodity. Let's just say that. This thing has been hot to where now Triller has caught on to it. It was on the zone. And like I said, bro, when you have fucking championship fighters and former champions fighting as co-main event to these type of things, it rubbed me a little bit the wrong way as well, because I don't want boxing to go in that direction either. I don't want boxing going in the direction of, just because, these dudes over here making money, we can put these boxers on there, these world caliber boxers, and, put real fights on. No. So what Canelo is saying is, fuck it, dog. Look, we do this shit for real. We risking our life for real. Not saying Jake Paul ain't risking his life in the ring, fighting the fighters he fight, but, Canelo, this is their lifestyle, bro. This is what they do. They don't play with this shit. They don't play with it. They really take this serious. You can see Canelo right now in the gym working his ass off. You know what I mean? They don't play with this. And, we have fighters that lost their lives in the ring. That's a testament to the brutality of the sport. You know what I mean? To let you know that it's really a brutal sport and you can really lose your life in the ring. So when you come out here and it's like YouTube fighters facing each other, basketball players, football players, everybody now want to think they're a boxer. They can just put on some gloves and get in the ring, and that's not the case. That's not the case. Now, it's selling, right? It's selling because it's entertainment. It's entertainment, and this is America. You feel me? This is America. Everybody like entertainment. So the shit going to sell. These dudes got big followings on Instagram and on YouTube, things of that nature. So, they're going to tune in to what's going on with these dudes. They're going to tune in. But when Jake Paul and Logan Paul come out, and talk about they want to fight Canelo, they want to end them and things like that, that's when the shit gets a little bit to being like, come on, chill the fuck out, bro. You know what I mean? Like, chill out. Like, what y'all doing is a little bit above the WWE, which is understandable. And like I said, if it make dollars, it makes sense. And if people want to buy the shit, then we can't knock it. We can't knock it. You feel me? Like, I understand Canelo did this thing, but I'm not going to knock them for getting their money. But I feel where he's coming from. So when they come out here talking about they're going to end Canelo Alvarez, like y'all go get in the ring and beat Canelo, man, you better sit the fuck down and shut the hell up. I repeat, you better sit the fuck down and shut the hell up. Because a Logan Paul nor a Jake Paul would defeat Canelo Alvarez on his worst day. You feel me? On the days he don't train. I'm talking about he can do whatever he want to do out here for 3 months and get it to the ring, and y'all can train for those 3 months, and Canelo will still beat the shit out of y'all on the same day and the same night. You understand what I'm saying? So when you mention Canelo and Jake Paul and Logan Paul and Jake Paul are saying what is he going to do to Canelo, things of that nature, you better calm that shit down, son. You don't stand a chance in hell. You don't stand a chance in hell to beat a fucking walking Hall of Famer in Canelo Alvarez. Nor do your brother. Nor do your brother. Now, the win over Ben Askren, people want to give you credit for it because Ben Askren is a fighter. Don't get me wrong, he's still a fighter. He's been doing this his entire life. He's been doing this shit his entire life, and you knocked him out in the first round. You know what I mean? You knocked him out in the first round to where even Ben Askren had to say, God damn, I got knocked out by a goddamn Jake Paul. He understand what it does to him. He understand what happened. He came out and said he wanted to see Tyron Woodley beat the shit out of Jake Paul, but it doesn't matter who beat the shit out of Jake Paul, Ben Askren, because Jake Paul knocked your ass out in the first round. You know what I mean? That's like me getting my ass whooped by somebody, then go get my brother, say, yeah, beat his ass, bro. And then my brother end up beating his ass. So I can say up there, yeah, my brother beat your ass. Yeah, but I beat your ass. So, you know what I'm saying? I whoop you. You had to get somebody else to whoop me. So still, that disdain and that pain is still going to be on you because I whoop your ass. And not just whoop you, I knock you out in the first round. You feel me? That was a 10-round fight if I'm not mistaken. You got knocked out in the first. Maybe an 8th round. Was it a 10 round or 8th round? I got to go back and see. But I know it was more than one goddamn round. You know what I mean? So, man, Askren, you could say you want to see who you want to see whoop on Jake Paul. Everybody's going to remember Jake Paul for knocking your ass out. Now, Jake Paul, listen, don't get too ahead of yourself, son. I understand the little emotions running through you. I seen that you was breaking down crying in the ring, so it meant something to you to win that fight. You work your ass off, I give you credit. And like I say, when you got 5-time Hall of Fame fighters like Zab Judah and Corey Spinks saying that you can fight, we have to give you credit as well because those dudes know what fighting look like. They know what it look like. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not taking away that Jake Paul is putting his all into boxing and really trying to learn. And he got some skills. You can't take that away from him. He got some little skills where he can fight, bro. He ain't just no piece of shit in the ring to where you be like, look at this shit, and you just laughing as a joke. He actually can fight a little bit. But when you talking about the likes of a Canelo Alvarez, man, you feel me? A Canelo Alvarez, a bad motherfucker. Like I say, 4-division world champion, looking to be the first Mexican undisputed champion at 168 pounds. Like, bro, that's when it become a joke and it become a facade. Because everybody in their right mind know if you put a Jake Paul in the ring with a Canelo Alvarez, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And I would bet the house. I repeat, I would bet my house, your house, his house, her house, they house, that Canelo would stop that man within 3 rounds. Canelo would stop Jake Paul within 3 rounds. You understand what I'm saying? If Canelo push on the gas and go forward on that man, that man would be demolished. Demolished. You understand me? He wouldn't want to fight no more. It would be ugly. You talking about ending a career. Canelo would end his boxing career. And I put money on that. You feel me? But Jake, continue doing what you're doing, bro. Continue fighting YouTubers. UFC fighters that's done with UFC. Basketball players, things of that nature. Regular citizens. That's what I'm going to say that. Continue to fight regular citizens or, someone that's not really a fucking fighter right now that's in a boxing game. Because one thing about this boxing shit, if you've been doing this boxing shit since you was a kid and you got the fundamentals down pat and you know how to counter and you got some defense, Jake Paul can't beat him. I'm sorry, Jake Paul can't beat him. You understand what I'm saying? Because even though he can fight, he got offense, he don't have no defense. He don't have no defense. And a real fighter would pick up on that all day, every day. All day, every day. You understand me? Because that's what they train to do. The Queenberry rules is instilled inside them. You know what I mean? The reflexes and, just the muscle memory, they just have that, bro. They just have it. Now Jake might make it interesting depending on what fighter it is. If he ain't got that much power, he might make it interesting. But even somebody like a Paulie Malignaggi, right? Let's take a Paulie. I know Jake a big motherfucker, don't get me wrong. But I even think Paulie will beat Jake Paul because he got defense. And Paulie can counter. You feel me? Now, Jake could try to bully Paulie, but I don't think it'll work. Y'all probably looking at me like, man, you crazy, man. Jake could knock out little Paulie. Paulie ain't got no, I'm telling you. Paulie has defense, and he's smart. He know how to counter. He know how to move, bro. And he know how to grab. But it is a big weight difference. I don't know how big Jake Paul is. I have to see what that is. But, you know, I'm just saying, like, somebody like a Paulie with a mental defense game plan, you know? So, like I say, man, I like Jake Paul. I don't think he can be the true boxer. A lot of people are like, well, he need to fight a real boxer. No, he's not a real boxer. And that's what Canelo's saying. Let's not make a mockery of the sport by real boxers getting in there with him, putting Jake Paul on that level, trying to make it like he is a real boxer, because he's not. You know what I mean? Like, he's good for the talent that he's fighting, you know, and he might be good to even spar with a few, you know, quality fighters, but for us in the ring fighting, no. Jake Paul is not going to get away with it. He's not. You know what I'm saying? And I know he probably feel like he can, but the truth is you can't, bro. And we got to keep it real about that situation. You know what I'm saying? But when you talking about somebody like the level of Canelo Alvarez, you got to cut it out. You know, they try to bring up Canelo being a cheat, things of that nature. Listen, y'all got to stay in y'all lane, bro. Y'all got to stay in y'all lane. You feel me? Now, like I said, I'm not mad at nobody for getting on Canelo Alvarez for what happened with this situation. But that situation is over with. And Canelo fan base is Canelo fan base. Canelo just sold out, 40,000 tickets at the fucking Cowboy Stadium. You know? So you got to give him credit for that. You know, the full capacity is back. I'm looking forward to see what Earl Spence do at the Cowboy Stadium with full capacity. But Canelo just sold out 40,000 for to face Billy Joe Saunders in a unification bout. His 2 scraps up against Billy Joe 1. Like, it's just different levels, man. It's just different levels. Like, this goes without saying. Like I said, if you got the right common sense in your head, we all know what'll happen if you put a Jake Paul in a ring with a Canelo Alvarez. If you put a Logan Paul in a ring with Canelo Alvarez, it's not going to end good. It's not going to end good. And if Canelo is really mad, if he's really mad, he can really damage those boys. He can really damage those boys, like really, really bad, bro. I'm talking about hospitalization type of damage. You feel me? But I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Canelo punish them boys like that. I don't want them boys to get punished like that. I want them boys to stay on their level, continue doing what y'all doing against the caliber of fighters y'all doing it against. I know Logan Paul is supposed to be fighting Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is a retired fighter, and Logan Paul, as big as he is, would not win that fight. And that's just the example I'm talking about. When you got somebody of that caliber, like a Floyd Mayweather, who's arguably the greatest fighter of all time, who got defense, who's smart in the ring, who's going to pick up on them big, wide-ass shots and counter the shit out of your ass and get to your body, man, it's over. It's over. And that's the example that I'm making, you feel me? But we will see, man. Hopefully they squash this little beef. Jake Paul, continue doing what you're doing. Stay out of Canelo lane, because I know one thing, Canelo is not going to get into your lane. His lane is already big enough for him to swerve, hit donuts and everything you want to do in it, just like your lane is big enough for you to swerve and hit donuts and do what you want to do in it. But at the end of the day, neither one of y'all boys can beat the Canelo Alvarez, not on his worst day. 100 times out of 100, Canelo will demolish our boys. 100 times out of 100, Canelo will demolish our boys. Just let that sink in. Be real with yourself. Wish you nothing but the best. Make your money. Live your life. But don't get into that ring with a real boxer, homie. Please don't, because it's going to end bad. Until then, this your boy Monty. This the NSBC. Moving anybody safe in these streets. Hit them thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you want to donate. OG Money on Cash App. TreyHampton52@gmail.com on PayPal. If not, just tell a friend. Hit the subscribe button. Like, comment, share the video. And y'all know how your boy get down, man. Big dog status.